You're watching Reality Check. Our focus tonight on the one election that has riveted national attention. A small state, just 40 assembly seats of Goa, but that's witnessed a high-stakes battle. The people of Goa voted today for what has been a fascinating seesaw election. When the campaign began, it appeared that the BJP may come back to power once again despite popular discontent. The main opposition party, the Congress, had been gutted. A bulk of its MLAs defected. The opposition vote divided, it appeared, between political startups like the Aam Aadmi Party and a last-minute aggressive push by the Trinamool Congress. But as people voted today, has the Goa wheel of fortune turned? The choices are not great for voters. The field is packed with dynasts and quote-unquote dons. There are at least 3 sets of power couples across party lines, husbands and wives contesting from the same party. A large number of candidates with links to real estates and resorts. Not good for a state where an overheated post-pandemic realty market is seeing a massive spike in property prices, and an unchecked construction boom. Close to 60% of Goa's MLAs are defectors, unprecedented even by the standards of Indian politics, to the extent that parties like the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party have actually got candidates to take oaths in temples and churches and to sign affidavits saying they won't defect to repair public trust. Given these tough choices, decoding the election has been tricky for political observers, even in a state like Goa. This much we do know, that the turnout provisionally at the moment is 78%. That's still lower than last time was 82%. So it may still inch up and hit last time's turnout. It may even cross last time's turnout. And will that be a factor as well? So has the wheel of fortune turned? Is the BJP, from starting off in a position of advantage, now on the back foot? Well, Chief Minister Pramod Sawant, this is what he had to say today. He sounded confident after casting his vote.
Yeah, it is definitely I'm confident that we are getting the 22 plus seats in the state of Goa. We are winning with a majority. Definitely all the people, they loves me, and whatever the infrastructure development required in the state, in my own constituency, which I had completed, and I'm fully confident I'm winning this election by more than 4,000 margin.
The Home Minister coming and campaigning for Chief Minister, that itself proves that he's losing the ground. I don't have to say much.
So that was in fact Pramod Sawant's rival from the Congress saying that the Home Minister had to come down and campaign for the BJP Chief Minister and the Chief Ministerial, or the front runner for the Chief Ministerial post. What do the people of Goa had to say? My colleague Rishika Barua, who was there today in Goa, sent us this.
The garbage is all over the place and the roads are bad. The pothole roads, everywhere there are pothole roads.
Garbage is definitely an issue, dry garbage, and the roads, of course. And apart from that, I think jobs for youth. I think a lot of our youth are jobless.
I don't want the country to split. So my vote was accordingly to that intention. And important is also the development of this place. Another important point was corruption.
All right, let's go across to debate. We have key players in the Goa battleground here with us. We have Digambar Kamath of the Congress. He's somebody who's, many believe he's the face of the Congress, and he's been CM before. Is he going to be CM again? We'll find out in a second. We have Amit Palekar, Aam Aadmi Party's Chief Ministerial candidate with us. Vijay Sardesai, Goa Forward Party, ally of the Congress. Has been a kingmaker, maybe he wants to be king, let's see. And Pramod Acharya is here with us of Prudent Media, a top news network in Goa. Good to have you all on board. We also were hoping to get Sadanand Tanavade, who's the state BJP president. He seems to be a bit caught up. We'll try and hopefully get him, or we'll hopefully get someone from the BJP, because last minute we were told that he was caught up with something. Pramod Acharya, let me start with you. Now the voting is over. Pramod Acharya, go for it. Give us the number.
So 80,
No, no, I'm,
80%,
I'm joking.
more than 80, still, we are still getting the tentative figures, but it looks like more than 80% of Goans have voted in this election. So what happened in the last two elections, I can certainly say when we crossed the threshold of 80% voting,
Yes,
in 2012 and 2017, we changed the government. However,
I see.
after 2017, we have seen that winning an election and forming a government are two different things. However, in 2012 as well as in 2017, when we crossed the 80% threshold as far as the voting percentage is concerned, the vote was largely very, very anti-incumbent. And that's what we are seeing right now. However, the only factor and probably the decisive factor in this election is the number of political parties that are in the fray. What many believe is, although the vote is largely anti-incumbent, it may not gravitate towards one political force.
I
And
see.
we
It
may
could
have a
split the
situation of a
opposition
hung
vote.
assembly
But
where
interesting.
the mandate is
Right, interesting. You're saying that when you cross 80% turnout, it basically means that you're leading to a change in government, and that's what happened last time. But you're saying that it could all get split. All right, we actually have Sadanand Tanawade ji on the phone line with us, State BJP President of Goa. Wish we could have got him on Skype, but I guess he's caught up. Sadanand ji, thank you for joining us.
Yes, namaskar.
Namaskar. Sadanand ji, now I won't ask you the obvious
बोलिए
question.
भाई साहब,
Yeah,
बोलिए.
नहीं, आपको मैं ये नहीं पूछूंगा कि आप जीत रहे हैं कि नहीं, क्योंकि आप तो बोलेंगे आप जीत रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं आपसे ये पूछूंगा कि जो एक परसेप्शन है इस चुनाव में कि शुरुआत से बीजेपी अच्छी पोजीशन में थी, लेकिन जिस तरह से जो पॉलिटिक्स बीजेपी ने कहा वो उसका पीछा छोड़ेगी कि आप डिफेक्टर को लेंगे, आप ये परिवारवाद करेंगे, आप ये जो डॉन्स हैं गोवा को उनको सब परिकर के वक्त परे कर दिया था. अब इतने सारे उन किस्म के लोगों को लेकर, बाबूश मोन्सेराट से लेकर विश्वजीत राणे से लेकर ये सारे लोगों, क्या इससे आपको लगता है एक गलत सिग्नल गया? अब तो चुनाव खत्म हो गया, अब आप फ्रीली बोल सकते हैं.
भाई साहब, मैं आपको अभी भी बताता हूँ
जी.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी इज विनिंग ये चुनाव में
I see.
22+ जो हमने बोला है, ये अभी भी अभी तो चुनाव हो गया है, वो सील हो गया. अभी भी मैं बोलता हूँ कि 22+ 100% भारतीय जनता पार्टी को गोवा मिलेंगे सीट, 100%.
अभी भी आप बोलते हैं कि आप जीतने वाले हैं, लेकिन ये बाबूश मोन्सेराट वगैरह को लेके आपको कोई डैमेज नहीं होगा. बट ये तो आपके प्रिंसिपल्स के अगेंस्ट है कि आपने बोला था कि इस किस्म के कैंडिडेट्स और इस किस्म के डिफेक्टर्स को बीजेपी नहीं लेगा.
एक देखो, ये बाबूश मोन्सेराट जो है वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी में जब हमने पहली बार सरकार बनाई थी 2002 में, तभी भी हमारे साथ थे. वो टाइम पे मनोहर पर्रिकर जब चीफ मिनिस्टर बने थे, तब हमारे मिनिस्ट्री में बाबूश मोन्सेराट चीफ मिनिस्टर थे, नंबर 1. बाद में बाबूश मोन्सेराट ऐसा एमएलए है कि जो अलग अलग 3 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में चुन के आया है. पंजी में आया, तालिगांव में आया, सांताक्रूज में आया, और इसके लिए उसको ये जो है
आप कह रहे हैं वो पहले से थे. ओके, आप कह रहे हैं वो पहले से थे. इन ए वे दिगंबर कामत, राइट. सदानंद जी, आप बने रहिए हमारे साथ, जाइए मत, डोंट गो सर, आई वांट यू फॉर द डिबेट. दिगंबर कामत, you know, it's quite interesting how the Congress, I mean, you are literally the last man standing, or sitting in this case of the Congress. Of your 17 MLAs, 15 defected, and did that in a way, it's a kind of de facto cleansing of your own stables. All these people, chief ministerial candidates, defectors, they all left. And so it kind of cleaned up the Congress without necessarily you're asking for it. You know, you're the unintentional beneficiary of this mass exodus, Digambar Kamat.
So people by and large in Goa believe that one good thing has happened to Congress, and that many people whom people felt that they should not contest this time, they have left the party, they have gone. And people said you and Congress should fill new faces this election. And we got an opportunity to fill new faces. So today when we went to the people of Goa, we told the people of Goa, see, you have always been saying that please, you are not giving chance to the new faces. So we said that we will
but
field new faces.
if you didn't have defections, you would have still fielded the same faces. You would have also fielded Babush Montserrat, Jennifer Montserrat. It was unintentional, like I said.
First time in the history of Congress in Goa, defectors have not been taken back. We said Rahul.
We've lost your audio. Have you put yourself on mute? Okay, we'll come back to you in a second. We've lost your audio. But you said first time defectors have not been taken back. This is something, Amit Palekar, is a very sort of unusual election in that sense, because defectors have always been a problem in Goa. But this time it seems to be that all parties are sensing that there's a backlash against this. I mean, the fact that you had to get your candidates to sign affidavits, we'll just put up those pictures on screen, where you're saying, I won't defect, and essentially, if I defect, you can be sued. The public can sue you. Is that right?
Yes, it is right.
And that's being distributed, and you distributed these affidavits to the people.
Yes, we have distributed the copies to the people, and in fact, we have been on record to say that. And it's a statement on oath. So, now, if you see the way the government has progressed in the previous decade.
But one second, before we come to that, Amit Palekar, my question though is, because I just wanted to inform our viewers, because not everyone may know this is but it also shows that, do you also have such little faith in your own MLAs, your candidates, that you had to get them to do this?
No, there is no question. See, people of Goa have lost faith in politicians the way Congress behaved in the last elections. 15 of them left and joined BJP. I think people of Goa needed some confidence in their politicians, and I think no better thing could have been done than to have an affidavit in writing. I think Aam Aadmi Party is the only party which had the guts to get into a written document with their candidates and put it across to people. It's to just build the faith, because when we approach the people, the only question that they ask is, would you behave like the way Congress MLAs behave? So, we had to build that confidence. I think it was a confidence building measure. And it also requires a lot of strength and conviction to state it in writing that we are not going to defect.
I see. But okay. I mean, it's a symbolic thing. I don't know if you can actually sue an MLA if it is.
You can. Why not? I think
you can.
Across the party lines, we should be able to understand that across party lines, we should amend laws to make the anti-defection laws very strong.
No, that's true. I'll come to that in a second, because the anti-defection law and its reform is a wider debate. But I just want to go to Vijay Sardesai, because Vijay Sardesai, you of course as part of the Congress alliance, I saw that you were also there at that event where Rahul Gandhi was there. All the MLAs or the MLA candidates took an oath. I think it was a temple or some religious place. Goa Forward, you were there. But is there any guarantee, Vijay Sardesai, that you will stick to that oath? Because last time also you jumped. You were talking to Congress, then you jumped to BJP. So what's the guarantee, Vijay?
There is a clear difference between last time, that is 2017 and 2022. In 2017, there was no pre-poll alliance with the Congress of my party. In 2022, we have a pre-poll alliance that has gone to the people. And Goa 2022 for us is about Goans uniting to save Goa, in which we two parties have come together, along with the people of Goa being the senior partners in this alliance. It's a pre-poll alliance, and this is a legal entity which normally holds in a post-poll arrangement.
No, but Vijay, as you know, these things don't actually have any legal standing. Like Shiv Sena and BJP were a pre-poll alliance in Maharashtra, and then post-poll they split, and the new combination was formed.
Neither am I Shiv Sena nor am I BJP. I am Goa Forward, and I'm committed to the pre-poll alliance. There's no question of going with anybody else. And because I'm committed, I've already been the target of the BJP's dirty tricks department already during the election. So I'm very clear.
In what way?
Whatever pre-poll is postponed.
In what? No, in what way, Vijay Sardesai? Target in what way?
The way the agencies start working, this the radio and all these things, it has happened just 2 days before the election. And it's part of the game. I think this is the standard operating procedure for the ruling party.
So Sadanand ji, अगर अभी हैं हमारे साथ, इस सदानंद तनाडवी जी with us, सदानंद जी क्या ये बताइए कि ये जो इम्प्रेशन है कि इलेक्शन 2 इलेक्शन होते हैं, एक तो जो एक्चुअल रिजल्ट्स आते हैं, फिर उसके बाद जो असली खेल होता है, जैसे लास्ट टाइम भी हुआ, तो क्या इस बार भी अगर बीजेपी को नंबर्स नहीं मिलते तो वही सारा ट्रेडिंग बाइंग सेलिंग स्टार्ट हो जाएगा?
ये टाइम पे किसी की भी जरूरी हमें नहीं पड़ेगी, ये मैं आपको कॉन्फिडेंटली बता देता हूँ। ये जो कांग्रेस हो यानी आम आदमी पार्टी हो, ये लोगों को तो अपने कैंडिडेट पे ही फेथ नहीं था। चुनाव तो आज हुआ है, लेकिन चुनाव से पहले 10 दिन पहले ये लोगों ने उनका एफिडेविट लिया, मस्जिद में मंदिर में जाके उनको शपथ दिलाई कि अगर कोई चुन के आया तो भी नहीं जाएगा पार्टी को, कैसा किया। तो लोगों ने देखा इनके ऊपर फेथ नहीं है ना किसी का, तो लोग इनको वोट क्यों दे? ये इनको खुद की पार्टी जिनको कैंडिडेट देते हैं, उनको अगर उनके कैंडिडेट में फेथ नहीं है तो गोवा के लोग इनके ऊपर क्यों फेथ रखे?
बट आपका
क्वेश्चन है। और आई एम वेरी मच कॉन्फिडेंट। मैं आपको अभी भी बताऊं, अभी तो पोलिंग हो गया है। आई एम वेरी मच 100% कॉन्फिडेंट और हमें किसी को लेने की जरूरी नहीं पड़ेगी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी विथ एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी पे गोवा में 10 मार्च को आप देखिए, आफ्टर द रिजल्ट यू कॉल मी एंड आस्क मी, आई एम 100% श्योर बीजेपी इज विनिंग विद एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी।
अच्छा, you are saying you don't need
100%.
You don't need okay. No, that's why I said at the beginning I didn't ask you who's winning, because obviously everyone is going to say they're winning. But one thing,
because last 1 year we are working with the organization. ये जो माहौल है ना, ये माहौल वो लोगों ने जिला पंचायत चुनाव के लिए भी किया था। सब पार्टियां इकट्ठा होकर हमारे अगेंस्ट लड़ी थी। बीजेपी got 2/3 majority in जिला पंचायत।
in जिला पंचायत, okay. Digambar Kamath.
जब हमारा जो
Digambar Kamath, I want to ask that Digambar Kamath, that this question, no, that as Amit Palekar was saying, that where is the confidence? I mean, of course, you've got the oath and all that. You've taken allegiance at a mandir. We'll play those visuals as well, by the way. Rahul Gandhi with all the, but the Congress, what if you win a certain number and again they bolt? And this again, you're the last man standing.
This time, we are very confident that not a single MLA of the Congress Goa Forward Alliance will desert the alliance.
Why?
Why? Because we have selected the candidates after consulting our workers. There has been lots of consultations going on at the grassroots level. And Chidambaramji said that we will go to the workers, grassroots level, we will hold workers meetings and then we will finalize the candidates. And that is why an opportunity has been given to the new candidates which people wanted. And perception of the public was that you should do something, so that some commitment from the candidate. When we discussed this with all our candidates, they only suggested that let us take some these before the God, before the church and before this.
Pramod Acharya, is this something which did this whole business that these parties did that actually have any positive impact amongst voters, or did they see it as cynical, this is just dramabazi that you're going to
I
Mandir,
believe
Masjid,
voters are going to trust these political parties again only when they actually demonstrate that they are not breaking away. Otherwise, in this election, we have seen from MLAs breaking away to the candidates breaking away, and candidates changing parties twice before the election. So that is the kind of pathetic level our politics has witnessed over a period of last 4 or 5 months. So for that trust deficit to get bridged, I think it is going to take a long time. But what is important here also is the kind of voting pattern we are seeing. Sanathan Shetty nowadays is very right when he says that a similar kind of a thing was said during Jilla Panchayat election. And the situation right now is such that we do not know the extent of the split. At least in a ZP election, there were not so many parties fighting against each other in a non-BJP space. The level of space, the extent of split, we actually do not know right now. And
that's the main issue.
That's the main issue.
The split is not clear. But one thing, but one thing would you say, Pramod, that when it looked like it's going in all directions, you and other experts were saying that at the end it was starting to consolidate a bit. Like for example, Trinamool, which came with a big bang, they seemed to started to fizzle out. So it largely became either you are voting for the Congress Goa Forward combined, perhaps to some extent MGP, which is the Trinamool ally, or Aam Aadmi Party. But that is still a three. That is still a kind of.
That is still a
three-way split. That is still a three-way split.
That is still a three-way split, and then there are smaller players in the fray. There are independent candidates in the fray. But the major, I think, the major issue in this election, if you see the voting pattern, is we need to see in which seats the Aam Aadmi Party has consolidated to a winning position, and in which seats they are splitting the votes and whose votes.
Is that something which
whether Aam Aadmi Party is splitting the BJP votes in constituencies where they are not in a position of winning, or they are splitting Congress votes in those constituencies.
So Amit, Amit, because I know that the Aam Aadmi Party, this is not a secret, they tried to talk to informally. I think you were talking to the Congress, just like the Trinamool tried talking to the Congress to say, let's do an informal arrangement, but didn't work out.
I don't know where that is coming from. As far as my knowledge is concerned, I don't think we have ever had any conversation with any Congress leaders on any alliances. And I think, first of all, none should refer to us as a party which is going to split votes from Congress or BJP. Our fight is against corruption, and I think both these parties have indulged in corruption over a period of time. And own politics has been an encyclopedia of defections, and I think the book is written by the Congress as far as Goan encyclopedia is concerned.
Well,
so I don't think
I can tell you, Amit, that I have got on good authority from both AAP and Congress that there were these conversations held, but it came to naught. Vijay Sardesai, in hindsight,
not my knowledge for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Vijay Sardesai, in hindsight, was it a mistake? Because Congress kind of, rightly or wrongly said no to any arrangement with Trinamool, and also sort of rebuffed up for some arrangement which could end up damaging the opposition, as Pramod says. It could split.
No, see, I don't believe there is a split. I believe the socio-politically conscious electorate of Goa, Nehru called Ajib 60 years ago, are still Ajib. Big strategists who have shown everywhere in the country are going to be a very pathetic demonstration of their brains here in Goa.
Okay.
I think their deposits. So I feel that people are very clearly consolidating in favor of an alternative to the BJP. As Pramod Acharya says, the high voting percentage is a vote against the incumbency. And
but which way is it? But which way is it going? Last word, Digambar Kamath. Actually, an influential church body said, be mindful of communal forces, but also don't allow for splitting of secular votes. So the church is kind of sensing to the Digambar Kamath, last word from you. Should the Congress, now in hindsight, have accepted the olive branch from Trinamool or AAP for an arrangement of some kind? Arrogant to not have done that?
I'm not aware of this. Our alliance is waiting for Goa.
I see. Okay, we have some audio issue with you, Digambar Kamath, but let's see. Hopefully, there'll be a clearer picture, both the clearer audio and the clearer picture when the results are in. But it's been a very, very fascinating election, and I'm sure all of you who participated in it and people like Pramod covering it say election like none before, I think. Never seen an election like this in Goa. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us and for watching. Good night.